What is up, Film Geeks? My name is Trevor, and welcome to my channel. Disney Pixar's Lightyear just came into theaters this past weekend and making the 26th Pixar movie. So today, in honor of Lightyear coming out, we're going to rank all 26 of those movies by placing them on their proper tiers. Join me down below in the comment section. What is your favorite Pixar movie, or all 26 of your ranking? Let me know that down below in the comment section. What did you think of Lightyear? And before we get into the ranking, if you could hit the like button and the subscribe button for more rankings like these, that would be awesome. Let's get into these tiers. So, starting out with our tiers, we have top 5 Pixar, then we have great, then we have good, then we have okay, then we have meh. There is no bad tier because I don't really think Pixar has a bad movie. And in the top 5 Pixar tier, obviously my top 5 favorite Pixar movies are going to go in there. And these movies are in no particular order. Let's start out with A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life's going to go in the great tier. Flick is one of my favorite Pixar characters ever, and this movie is honestly slept on. It has such a great story, such great characters, and it's kind of like a movie we've seen before, where you have a group of outsiders and a group of people who kind of get them to come together and go against a common enemy. That seems to be the case with this movie. It's fun, it's funny. Honestly, I really like it, and for being made in the 90s, the animation style still holds up, the joke still holds up. I really like the caterpillar, and I really like the ladybug, so come on, I absolutely love Bug's Life. Flick is awesome. Then we have Brave. Brave's gonna go in the okay tier. Something about this movie I could just never really get into. Maybe it's because I love the How to Train Your Dragon movies so much, and I honestly just compare these two. That's my toxic trait. I compare Brave and How to Train Your Dragon, but Brave just doesn't work all that well for me. I mean, it's an okay movie, but of the Pixar movies, this is probably one I don't rewatch all that often. Then we have Cars 2. Cars 2 is going to go in the meh tier. Seems like it should have been just a straight to like a DVD, VOD type movie, and I believe it got a theatrical release. I've seen this movie one time. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. It's meh. Then we have Cars 3. Cars 3 is a good movie. Comes back to its roots of Lightning McQueen more in the forefront in this movie, and coming back to the racing roots, which is I really like. Cars 2 is more that spy espionage. Cars 3 is back to the original Cars and has that awesome just soundtrack vibe and just NASCAR racing, fast speed awesomeness, and I love. And Cars 3, probably my favorite of the Cars movies. Then we have Coco. Coco's going to go in the top 5 Pixar for me. I absolutely love this movie. I watch it 2 to 3 times a year, every single year. I love the animation style, easily one of Pixar's best looking animated movies. I love the soundtrack. I love the songs. I love how this is the only Pixar musical we got. At first, I was a little bit distainted from that, but just watching it over and over again, I absolutely love this movie. Then we have the first Cars. Gonna go in the good tier as well. Life is a Highway. I talked about the Cars movies enough. We're done with all 3. Cars 3 and Cars are both good movies. Then we have Finding Dory. Gonna go in the okay tier. It was about 13 years later that we got this sequel, and it made a lot of money, and that's what it felt like it was kind of set to do. I love the first Finding Nemo, but Finding Dory is funny. I like the character of Bailey, I love the character of Hank, but it just felt almost like unnecessary. At least the more I go and rewatch it, like I'm like, does this movie really need to be made? Not really. But hey, it's still a good, fun, cute movie. Ellen DeGeneres as Dory is iconic. It's great. Then we have Finding Nemo, gonna go in that great tier as well. I say this every time I do a Pixar ranking, but when I become a parent one day, I think that Finding Nemo will be honestly probably my favorite Pixar movie. It is about a parent doing whatever it takes to go and get and save his son who has been taken. It's like Liam Neeson's taken, but in Pixar form, in the ocean. And Marlin goes on this crazy journey across the ocean, battling sharks, swimming with turtles and jellyfish, meeting Dory, that little crazy flight fish, just to save his son, going through everything just to be there for his son. It's a great movie, great message, great theme. I absolutely love it. Then we have Inside Out. Bing Bong is one of my favorite animated characters ever, one of my favorite characters in movies ever. It's going in the top 5 Pixar. Inside Out, I absolutely love. I watch this movie twice a year, probably every year for the last couple years. First time I watched this movie, I wasn't all that into it. The character of Sadness definitely is like almost the antagonist in this movie, and Sadness was something I just found annoying the first time I watched it. When I go and watch this movie now, everything just works for me, and the scene where Bing Bong and Joy, they're riding that rocket to go up, and Bing Bong lets her go. Take it to the moon for me. Okay, Joy? Man, it hit you right in the feels. Then we have Luca. Luca, I was not a fan of the first time I watched it, but I've rewatched this movie with my fiance like 10 times. It's going in the good tier. Luca is a good, fun movie. In the first hour with the whole Vespa time and everything like that, didn't feel all that warranted. But the last 30 minutes captures that Pixar magic, gives me chills, and Luca's, it's good. It's grown on me quite a bit to make it a good movie. Then we have Monsters, Inc. Gonna go in the top 5 Pixar. Can you tell? I'm a little bit of a Monsters, Inc. and Monsters U fan. I absolutely love this movie, and this is what it hits hard on, because as a kid, you're scared of the closet. You think there's monsters in there or under your bed, and that's what this movie hits on. Takes a childhood fear and makes it a lovable, awesome movie. Welcome to the Himalayas. I love that abominable snowman, and I just love this movie. Sully and Mike are honestly one of the best best duos in cinematic history, and you have Randall as one of the best villains. It's a great movie. It has those emotional moments. I love it. Takes something you're scared of as a kid, it makes something happy. It's great. Then we have Monsters University. Monsters University is great. This is one of my favorite sequels inside the Pixar universe. I absolutely love this movie. I know it gets a lot of hate, but for me, it just works so well. The college frat games, Uzma Kappa, it's awesome. It's epic. They sold like 1 billion of these hats. I absolutely love that movie. Then we have Onward. Onward's going to go in the great tier as well. Almost in the top 5. This is probably number 6. I absolutely love this movie. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are the perfect voice casting for us, but it's about two brothers going on a quest together. I love the world they created, and this is the last Pixar movie that was in theaters besides Lightyear, which just recently came out. Onward is such a good, feel-good movie that has so many emotional moments and really hits on this brotherhood. They really become like brothers throughout this movie. The character of Ian never got to meet his dad, and they're going on a quest just to meet his dad just for a few hours, and they have that emotional moment where Ian never got to meet his dad, but Barley knew his dad, and Barley never really got to say goodbye, and Barley got to go say goodbye for Ian. It hits those emotional moments. I almost cry every time I watch it. Onward, it's perfect. I absolutely love it. Then we have Ratatouille. Ratatouille. Rat and Patootie. It's in my top 5 Pixar. Ratatouille hits all those notes for me, from the animation style to the vibe to the just overall story of this movie. That it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters where you go from there. It works so well for me. I love to cook, and this movie makes me want to cook even more. Ratatouille is fantastic. Almost done with the top 5 tier. Then we have Soul. I'm going to put Soul in okay, and dun dun dun, I know. Hit that a hot take right there for you. Soul just didn't work for me. I've seen it one time. I did watch it on Christmas morning. I was more focused on going and hang out with my family that day than watching a Pixar movie. Watched it that morning when I woke up, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to go back and revisit this movie, but it just didn't hit that hard for me. I didn't feel like this was a Pixar movie, and I just didn't get attached to this movie as much as I wanted to. Then we have The Good Dinosaur. I'm going to put Good Dinosaur in meh. Doesn't want to work. The Good Dinosaur is a meh. The Good Dinosaur to me is kind of like a rehash of The Lion King. We see this kid lose his dad right before his eyes, and he goes on the soul-searching journey, meets a friend along the way, then comes back a much better person. Sounds kind of The Lion King to me. I'd rather rewatch The Lion King than watch The Good Dinosaur. It's cute. That's all I'll say. It's cute. Then we have The Incredibles 2 going in the good tier. I absolutely love this movie when I first watched it. It was one of my favorite Pixar movies when I first watched it. But then more and more rewatch, I didn't love it as much. I wish the Underminer was the main villain of this movie. And certain things about this movie work really well, like Elastigirl going out and she's the one now being a superhero of the world. And Mr. Incredible has to stay home with the kids and teach them with math. Hits those funny notes really well. There's a great scene with the raccoon and Baby Jack Jack. This movie has those funny moments. It's a good movie. Then we have The Incredibles. It's not going to go in the top 5 tier. It's going to go in the great tier. Probably number 6, right? I absolutely love The Incredibles. And it actually got bumped out probably by Inside Out or Coco. The Incredibles is one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. And this family is a dynamic that I wish I had with my family. I wish I was Dash. Like, that was my ultimate dream as a kid, to be Dash, because my dad was this big, strong guy, and I thought he was Mr. Incredible. The Incredibles works so well, from humor to awesome superhero. Just a great story and a menacing villain in Syndrome. Syndrome, me, my redheaded brother, he's a great villain. Absolutely great villain. I love this movie with my whole heart, and I can't believe it's not my top 5, and I'm kind of kicking myself it's not. Then we have Turning Red, which just came out a couple months ago. I'm not a Turning Red fan. Turning Red's going to go in that okay tier. It's cute. My fiance absolutely loves this movie. She loves the boy band in this movie, and I've watched this movie like 4 times, and it's grown on me. If it wasn't the Met tier, it's now in the okay tier. Then we have the first Toy Story. I'm pretty sure the movie that started it all, going to go in the great tier. Ooh, there it goes. The first Toy Story works really well because this is every kid's fantasy. This is every kid's dream that when you leave, you go to school, whatever, you leave for the day, your toys come alive. Your toys hang out. Your toys play together. At least for me, I was like, that's so true. That's what my toys do. And that's what Toy Story hits. It hits that just awesome note, and it's great. Toy Story 2. Great tier as well. A great sequel, getting introduced to Jesse and Bullseye absolutely works so well. And it's a great sequel to the first Toy Story, and you have a great villain in this movie. But of the Toy Story movies, this is the one I remembered the least, so I need to go back and rewatch it. Then we have Toy Story 3 finishing off the top 5 Pixar tier. Going in the top 5 Pixar tier. Toy Story 3 is my favorite Pixar movie. This and Ratatouille are there fighting for the number 1 spot. But Toy Story 3 works on that emotional note for me, and just the overall Pixar vibe for me. It hits that hard. When your kid grows up and goes to college, Andy's now gone, and the kids get donated, which I did with my toys, and it was a very sad day for me. So long, partner. Top 5 Pixar. It's the greatest Pixar movie ever. Toy Story 3 is one of the best, trilogy movies of all time. Then we have Toy Story 4. Ducky and Bunny are good in this movie, and it's going to go in the good tier. Those two are the standouts for me, but I've only seen this movie one time. It was in theaters. I never really want to go back and rewatch it. It's a very good movie, my least favorite of the Toy Story movies, but at the end of the day, it is still a good movie. Then we have Up, and Up is going in the great tier as well. One of the greatest short films in the beginning of this movie, and overall it's a great adventure throughout this whole movie. Adventure is out there. It hits those emotional levels, has a great score from Michael Giacchino, who did the Batman and Lightyear and Ratatouille and Up. He's the ultimate Pixar composer. And Up, Russell and Mr. Fredricksen are easily one of the best duos throughout this Pixar franchise, and I say that quite a bit throughout this movie, but I love Doug the dog, I love Kevin, and Up is great, and if they ever want to make an Up sequel, I am down. Then we have WALL-E, and WALL-E's going to go in the okay tier as well. To me, WALL-E is just a little bit overrated. And I know it's in the okay tier doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just means it's lower on my actual Pixar ranking of the 1 through 26. WALL-E, I've seen it 3 times, and I just can't get into it anytime I watch it. Then we have the reason we're doing this list, and that is Lightyear. And Lightyear's going to go in the good tier. I can't express this enough. This is a pretty good movie. So when I got done watching it, I almost felt underwhelmed a little bit. I enjoyed it. I had fun. Sox steals the show in this movie. Has a good villain, and you get to see where Buzz Lightyear came from and where the toy Buzz Lightyear was really originated from, which is really awesome. But Lightyear, for me, just something about when I was at the theater, I was like, I think I wanted more. And I think that's okay. I set it up for a sequel. It's not doing great at the box office. It's doing good. It's not doing great at the box office. I hope we do get a sequel. I'd like to see where they go with this franchise and this universe. So Lightyear is on the good tier. Let me know how your ranking compares down below in the comments section. What is your top 5 Pixar movies? Let me know that down below. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Come back later this week for many more videos. I'm excited for all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.